Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Justin, Past Preservation. Today we're at beautiful Highland Cemetery, Gladwin, Michigan. Came up here, a couple family lots I want to check on. I've got some distant ancestors that are buried here that I cleaned their headstones during the summer last year. And another thing that I want to do today while I'm here is try to locate a few graves for Find a Grave website. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Find a Grave. You can volunteer to be a photographer. You can go out and find grave sites, headstones for people and photograph them, upload them to the site. Helps people a lot with genealogy research and such. I know when I started doing my genealogy research, it helped me a lot, so I try to go out and do it to help other people that maybe don't live in the area and can't come out and find it themselves. So I'm gonna walk around, look for a few that have requests out for them, and when I find one, I'll let you know. This here is the grave of my third great uncle, Amasa Frost. He was 22nd New York Cavalry, Company M. He moved to Michigan after the Civil War. His brother, my third great grandfather, was living here at the time, and he and another brother moved to this area, settled down, and this is where they lived out their lives. He moved up here to Gladwin. I'm not really sure why. Probably not any real reason, I guess. My third great grandfather settled in Midland County, and then they had another brother that settled in Saginaw County, and I'm gonna assume that all three of them were in the logging industry or railroad industry. I know that my third great grandfather was a logger. His brother, I think, was a railroad worker. So, and they had another brother, George, that settled in Midland also after the Civil War. So, pretty interesting to kind of follow their lives and where they lived and what they did, and that's the fun part of genealogy. Right here out in the middle of nowhere, there's like nothing around this stone. It's an obelisk that I cleaned last summer. It was super black, and it still needs some more cleaning done to it, but believe it or not, each side of that obelisk, there's a headstone. Right here, I'd say there's probably 15 inches of snow, which is kind of odd because, I only live about 20 miles south of here, maybe a little more, 25 miles, and we only got like 8 inches of snow. So in fact, I think we got less than that on the ground right now. Right here, about 4 inches under the snow, is a headstone. So, I don't know if I'm going to find any of these graves that need photographed today or not. The snow tends to cover a lot up. But, well, since we're here, you guys got to see this one. It's cool. These are known as Woodsman of the World headstones, and they look just like a tree. In fact, if you look at the tree right there, you would almost swear that this is just a stump sitting here. But this is what they call Woodsman of the World. And it was kind of like a fraternal organization, somewhat like, well, not very different than the Freemasons or something like that, or the Grand Army of the Republic. It was a group of men that were probably in the logging industry or supported the logging industry somehow, or were loggers, and they joined this organization, and yeah, they all got headstones. A lot of times you'll see headstones like this. It'll be a tree stump, or sometimes you'll see ones that look like they're made out of logs, or sometimes you will see headstones, individual headstones that look like logs laying on the ground, branches or whatever. That's what those are all about. And there's usually some sort of symbolism to each one. You know, a headstone that looks like a branch that was cut off means that, you know, their life was cut short, or some sort of other meaning to it. I'll see what kind of information I can find, and I'll post up some photos. I think they're cool though. Really cool. Yeah, I mean, just imagine how much that weighs. It's probably, you know, I'm 6 foot tall almost, and it's a little bit taller than me, so there's a lot of weight there. Definitely cool. Oh, and the name on it is Smallwood, which is, there's a Smallwood Lake not far from here. Smallwood Dam, yeah. So it's kind of neat. Well, we'll keep on going. One thing I will say is I'm glad that they plow at this cemetery to make this accessible to family members, you know, all year long. One thing that kind of makes me a little bit irritated is how close these headstones are to the road, and the fact that they plow snow right over on top of them. I mean, it's one thing if there was some road markers here, but as you can see, right there's a headstone. You almost can't see it. Imagine if there was a headstone right here on the edge of the road. It was covered in snow from snowfall, and they come and plowed and hit it, broke it, rolled it up, you know, find it in a pile later. How do you know where it goes? Hopefully your records are good. That's just my one little pet peeve about this cemetery, is that, you know, they pile the snow up on top of these headstones that are right by the road. So, well, when I started this escapade this morning, I told myself, you're not going to need sunglasses. It was cloudy. It's supposed to be nice today, but I didn't know it was supposed to clear up. And now I'm paying for it because this snow is bright. I want to show you guys something though. This cemetery is positioned right up on a hill. And this side up here is on a big hill. So we're going to go over here to this other side, do a little walking around. I've got a couple of graves to check on over here. And we'll show you a few things over here. This side over here, it's pretty cool. Well, right here over my shoulder is something that you're starting to see a little more often around here. I don't know if they have these in other parts of the country or not. I'm sure they do. In fact, I've seen videos that other people do where these are indoors, like out in California and stuff. But this is rather interesting. They started doing this back in the 70s, 60s and 70s. As you can see, this is 1968, but they started to realize that they were running out of space in these cemeteries, and you know, they don't make any more land. With all these buildings around here, they can't buy anymore, so they start going up, and each one of these spaces has 32 burials in it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that? 32 times 4 is 128. 128 burials in this little spot. It's dug into the side of a hill, and what they would do is, like, see, this one here doesn't have anybody buried in it. They'll come and they'll cut that caulking out. This will be removed. They'll put whatever remains, they're going to go in there, and then they seal it back up. So either this doesn't have anybody in it, or it did and the nameplates fell off. It doesn't look like there was ever any nameplates attached. So, kind of a neat little thing though. I don't particularly care for them. I like to see headstones, but to each his own. When you can't go out, you go up. Been doing that since New York City started running out of real estate. Well, here we are up at the top of the cemetery. This is the highest point in the whole cemetery. Nice big hill. And up here they've got an old water storage tank that I'm assuming, you know, back before they had a well and city water and stuff like that, this is how they collected and stored water for the cemetery, whether it be watering flowers or whatever. I don't know if they had a pump that they pumped water up into the storage tank with, or if it was all storm water or what, but if you look out over the hill here, that is the beginning of Gladwin City. There's a hospital building there. I think it's a clinic building or a doctor's office or something like that. But it's rather a nice view up here. It's nice pine trees, and it's very serene in the summertime. It's very quiet, and in fact, last summer when I was here, it was very quiet. It was a nice warm day, light breeze, and I was cleaning a headstone, and I heard clip clop, clip clop, clip clop, clip clop, and I looked up, and there was an Amish buggy, horse-drawn buggy coming down the road. It was really kind of neat. It's sometimes it's kind of neat to see those old lifestyles and those old traditions being carried on still. And it's very interesting to drive around this area. There's a lot of Amish farms, and a lot of Amish men and women do some very fine carpentry, and they make some very nice clothing. There's a couple of Amish stores around here where you can buy some of that stuff. But You know, I've been walking around here for maybe an hour or so, and I haven't found any of the headstones that I requested photos for. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to contact the cemetery sexton and see if they can point me in the right direction here. So for now, I guess that's it. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. We'll see you on the next adventure.